Hi Finlay, Jamie Jones Buchanan here, hope you're well mate. I've been given some questions via an email to answer for you, so I'm going to do my very best to get through them with the best of my knowledge. Where did rugby originate? Well, legend has it that it originated in the town of Rugby at Rugby School, where William Webb Ellis, who was playing a game of football or soccer at school, decided to pick up the ball and start running with it. And I imagine his disgruntled friends thought, what's he doing? And went on to tackle him, and thereby which the game of rugby was created, or known as rugby football. And I think today is what we would associate with rugby union. What is my diet like? I like eating burgers and chips. Is that a good diet for a rugby player? Well mate, if I'm honest with you, I like eating burgers and chips as well. But you're right, it's not the ideal diet for a professional sportsman or woman. I've got to eat plenty of meat, vegetables and fruit, some boiled rice and potatoes, and make sure that my diet is really good because it's an important part of an athlete's lifestyle. Now don't get me wrong, there are some days when I like to have a chicken madras or some fish and chips or even a nice burger. I love going to Nando's for example, but for 6 days a week you've got to make sure that your diet is in prime condition so that physically we're in the best possible condition to go play and execute our sport. Who made the game of rugby and in what year? Well, I already mentioned William Webb Ellis. I believe the year was 1823, so it's a long time ago. But the brand of rugby that I play was actually created in Huddersfield, George's Hotel. We know it today as Rugby League, when the northern workers couldn't afford to have the weekends off to play rugby. So they broke away and created what's known as Rugby League. It was the Northern Union back then. That started in 1895. When did I start playing rugby? Well, I started playing rugby when I was about 9 years old. I moved in next door to two rugby players who played for a local community club, Stanningley ARLFC, just around the corner. My four boys play there now, and it's a great way for me to make friends. So they taught me how to play rugby outside on the bit of green grass that we had near my house, and then I went on to play at school. And the guy who come in and coached us at school invited me down to Stanningley at the age of 9, and I've never looked back ever since. What is my daily exercise routine? Well, that's changed a fair bit from having retired last year from being a player to an assistant coach, but to quickly run you through what I did when I was a player. Basically on Mondays we'd do some weights, we'd do some wrestling and combat for when we wanted to take people down to floor, and then we'd do a lot of field sessions, so a lot of skill and practice and some running conditioning as well to get our bodies really healthy and strong and full of endurance. We do that Monday, Tuesday, we might have a Wednesday off. We'd do a smaller session on Thursday, which was just skills and game plan out on the field. Obviously we've been doing a lot of video as well during the week to talk about what we wanted to do, and then we'd go play on Friday, which is the really intense part of the week. On Saturday we'd come in Saturday morning, do some light weights, and then we'd go to the swimming pool and swim as well. What is my favourite memory on the pitch? Listen, I've had lots of fantastic memories. I think a lot of those memories are watching my teammates do something wonderful. I like to talk about Rob Burrows in 2011, scored the best grand final try you will ever see against St Helens. That was one of my favourite moments, to be there as a Leeds fan and a friend and teammate of Rob Burrows. That was amazing. But I guess the one that sticks out in my mind is going back to that game against Melbourne Storm at Ellen Road, when I managed to put a very rare big shot on one of their players, and it erupted the Revy stand behind, and in a crazy type of way it was like scoring a goal at Ellen Road. Such was the noise, so that always stuck out in my mind as one of my favourite moments. How did it feel in the 2015 grand final? Well, it was bittersweet because the 2015 grand final was the first time that I'd not played in a grand final with the team. I got a catastrophic injury, a quad tear, in that year, and it meant that I missed all three finals, and the team went on to do the treble. So from a playing point of view, I missed out on being involved in those games. But that being said, as a fan it was super special because I got to see behind the scenes. I was still a part of the team and the players, and very much interacted, and they'd say that I contributed even though I didn't play. But even more important than that, they made me feel a big part of that team and that group, and the boys kept reminding me that even though I wasn't out there on the pitch, there was still an influence of Jamie Jones-Buchanan within that group of players. And I think the most rewarding part of being a professional player, going on that journey with the Leeds Rhinos, is that we're all friends for life. We've made some great memories, forged some great relationships, and we'll be friends forever. How does it feel seeing Ronnie Rhino? We all love Ronnie. Ronnie's our mascot and he comes everywhere with us. He does some crazy things. I've seen him abseiling and getting stuck on the South Stand roof. He's a great dancer. He's always full of enthusiasm. And do you know what, in life, when life gets a little bit difficult, we've got to be full of enthusiasm. We've got to be happy. We've got to try and keep smiling and find that energy to overcome some challenges. So I love Ronnie because he keeps reminding me of that. And he's that mascot that everybody likes to have a photograph with and rally around to keep us all smiling. Do I have any tips for becoming a rugby player? Yes, I do have some tips, and this tip will apply to everything in life, okay? And it's this, that we shouldn't ever be scared of failing or making mistakes as long as we're trying our best. Now, rugby league, like every sport, is very difficult, especially at the highest level. And it's a real challenge to be able to train hard and work hard and perform and get everything right all the time. We don't get things right all the time. And even at school, when you're doing your schoolwork, sometimes we get things wrong. What's important is that you persevere, you keep trying your best, and that you learn from your mistakes. I heard somebody putting into a really nice analogy, and it's a little bit like being a jungle tiger versus a zoo tiger. Now, the jungle tiger has to live in the wild and it has to work hard to find its food, to create its environment and to look after the other animals that are around it. Whereas a zoo tiger, it's all there, set out, manufactured. They don't have to worry about the food, they don't have to worry about where they sleep. It's all sat really nice for them. But the zoo tiger doesn't reach its potential, all right? It never becomes the tiger that it could or should have been. But the one that's out in the wild, that's the one that's always going to be strong. So whenever you get challenged and things are hard in life, you keep trying your best. How did it feel to play in Rob Burrows' testimonial? Well, I've already mentioned that the boys always felt like we were friends for life. And when I played in that game, it was amazing, mate. We celebrated our friendship. The team came back together. Lads who had been retired for quite a number of years said that they'd come and play in what was essentially a proper game, which isn't easy to do, but it was a big reminder of the love and the memories that I've got for Rob and for Kevin Sinfield and Danny Maguire and Keith Senior, Jamie Peacock, Ryan Bailey, Brett Delaney and all those other boys that came back to play. It's been a wonderful journey, and that is more important than the medals or some of the fame that might go with it. What is important is the relationships and the friends that you make along the way. So Rob Burrows' testimonial was very special for that reason. What am I planning to do with my life after rugby? Well, I'm really lucky that I played rugby league at Leeds for 22 years and I lived my boyhood dream. And I feel like I'm in a great debt of gratitude and I can never repay that, but what I can do is use what I've learned from those experiences and help people like yourself try and be an encouragement to other boys and girls around Leeds, other men and women in businesses, and whatever I can do in my local environment, my local town, especially in West Leeds and Bramley and Pudsey and Farsley and Stanningley, is to go give back and help and support people fulfill their dreams in whatever way possible, through a bit of advice, through a bit of information or some practical help. And I'm also really privileged to still be involved in Leeds Rhinos. I love the club. I hope that I can be there for many years helping it to strive towards more success, and I'm really lucky to have a role as an assistant coach there. So I've got a lot of work to do, I've got a lot of years, God willing, to keep striving, keep persevering, but you can probably tell I'll never give up trying. So I hope you will too. It's been a pleasure to answer some of your questions. Thank you very much, my friend. Keep smiling. I hope the rest of 2020 is a blessing. All the very best. God bless.